well. Dr. Fox back here with your weekend update. Happy Flag Day if you're seeing this on Sunday. If not, hope you're having a good week so far. If you see it later in the week, or happy weekend. We've got a few things to go over. We've got some mount updates that look pretty interesting. We'll briefly discuss that. Druid form customization. We got a few other little tidy things to kind of tidy up this week. So why don't we jump into this, shan't we? Dr. Fox back here with you with a weekend update. So it looks like we've got some interesting little druid form customizations. It's kind of like going to a barber, at least in game. Talking about a really licensed cosmetologist. This is not quite how it can work. Though we've seen some variations of that, but we won't get into that. Anyway, it's just kind of neat. I think this is really, really interesting. Before you had to use glyphs, and now once you use it, this new one, I like that now you can pretty much use it across the board, which is really interesting. So once you're able to add that, I think that's really a really nice adaptation to what we're going to get in that. And that's a new one for Shadowlands. We've got some new Shadowlands mounts out there that look pretty fascinating. I don't really have much on screen right now. I'm just kind of showing you some of my current WoW characters. My editing system is a little wonky at the moment. Those that know me just know that this has kind of been my default coverage as well. For those that were interested, this week's events, Dark Moon Fair, sadly just wrapped up yesterday, at least in retail as well. We had the Battlegrounds bonus that ended last week. PvP Brawl, Cooking the Impossible is going on through this week as well. If you run BFA dungeon events right now as well, there's a bit of a bonus on that. We have Pet Battle bonus week coming up this week. I'm excited. A week from today, not only is that Father's Day for all the men out there, but we're also heading into first official calendar day of summer. But my excitement is for the Midsummer Fire Festival next week. For those that saw my other video as well, know that announcement as well. We've got some interesting class poses this week. There's some good coverage of that we saw through Signs of Kalani and Hazelnutty. I'll put those links in the as well as some other streamers out there have covered a lot of these great things throughout the week. Just happened to highlight a couple of folks as well. Some PvP power data mine info on that. I think Hazelnutty has a very interesting take on that as well. If you want to look into that a little bit more deeper and kind of what your opinions are on PvE gear and PvP, interesting enough. Congrats to her on that lasso ivory cloud serpent catch for her and all the others that she had in her group working on that recently as well. I have the lasso, but I've been having trouble, and like she mentioned, this is a good time to be working on it while there's still groups before other things kind of break up and move through their prospective situations as well. As with that, we also have a few other things going on outside. I was pretty fascinated for someone like me who loves Back to the Future, and it's pretty fascinating. This individual named Sam Rogers created a $340,000 jetpack. So it was really fascinating. He found an individual that was able to drive a version of the DeLorean all made up next to him. And it was just a really, really cool looking way to finally make it look like he's actually flying, not just using a crane. This is a jetpack suit that he was wearing. I think that was pretty fascinating as well. We've got some lots of Q&A kind of lots, but definitely a handful of Q&A to go over this week as well. That I'd like to just kind of look over. Or look at, if you will. Some of us, how many videos have I made? All I can say is about hundreds to thousands at this point. For those that were asking me, everything from film, television, independent, indie. If you're talking about YouTube videos, I've definitely got hundreds on here already. I've worked on a few other channels. Cat and Fox Studios. I've made a couple of cameo appearances on a couple others as well. We've had, oh, gosh, I could go on and on with that. There's so many different variations. They kind of call me the Jaina mini trades. I get involved in a lot of different aspects about that as well. And as we mentioned last week as well about trolling, it's when working in film and television, you always felt like we want to be able to encourage other individuals that work on similar products. Some would say otherwise because then they'll say they're taking away your advertisement for that individual. I don't believe that. I believe it's important to encourage other content creators that work on similar information as well. And it's not just that we'll sit here and continue to talk about those couple of content creators, but anyway, there's so much more to it than that. I can only begin to talk about the variant of that as well. But we won't spend too much time into that. But we had a couple other hellos out there this week. We wanted to say a quick hi and a hello to a few others as well. And if you're watching, we appreciate that. We're plugging away. I'm excited personally. I've been still plugging away at Stay Classy. I'm leveling my last human paladin right now. So we're working on that between another friend. We've been kind of splitting that up so we're able to level a bit quicker. Thankfully, we're breaking that up. I know she's working on some of the other characters right now. So I'm excited about that. We've been plugging away at the Stay Classy challenge now for a while. And it could, like I said, it could still be a bit. But we're plugging away. I think the next one I'll be leveling is the Durrani Paladin that I'll be plugging away at next. And then a lot of the others I'll just have to take some time to tidy up their honor. For the Seymour's, I know, honey, we're going to go have brunch here in a few minutes while we wrap up this video. So there's so much more I want to talk about, but we're just going to just kind of wrap it up there, saying hello to all those that stop by my channel. I really appreciate that. Keep up the support. It means a lot. And I hope you all have a safe week. And we'll be celebrating Dad's Day and the first day of summer with Midsummer Fire Festival kicking off a week from today. Next week is time walking and all those good jazz things from there. So we're going to kind of keep it at that. Wrap it up. Have a good week. Once again, Dr. Fox, take 2 weekend updates and then call me in the morning and then we will, see you later.